Okay, so let's see. So it's Sunday. Lord got me up about 4, maybe a little bit before then. So I've been up. It's about 6, so I've been up for a couple hours. Um, just kind of seeking the Lord. Already done 2 walkabouts, praying and walking with the Lord. Um, Taking out the trash. Did my purging. Purging a lot. So a lot's going on there. Um, but just as soon as I walked outside, and probably for the last couple of days, it was kind of like this. It was very almost wet, so it was almost like I could feel the dew. Um, Very overcast, kind of cold. Um, but today just seemed very different. Uh, Not sure why. Still kind of pondering, what's going on for the day. So today is Pentecost Sunday. So I think in the last few weeks I was kind of having high expectations for the day and the season. Um, so as I woke up, I really didn't expect anything. I just kind of got up. It's like, okay, well, let's just see what the Lord has for today. Um, and then there's just kind of this heavy feeling, right? So uh, conflicted or just kind of at a loss of words in the moment. But there's just a lot going on, right? So there's civil unrest, there's rioting, things are being burned, so there's destruction, there's anger, there's rage, things are kind of out of control. And this is getting pretty, so it's pretty widespread. So it's kind of all across the nations, major cities. Um, and it's been several days, right? So since this has broken out and since things are continuing, I don't know about escalate, but things are not good. Um, so feeling this re- resistance or this, I'm not sure. Again, maybe just a mixed bag, right? So again, I think I woke up with this high expectation of today is Pentecost Sunday. Hey, what are you going to release today, Lord? What are you going to show me, Lord? What are you going to reveal to me? And then there's this heaviness about, you know, just what's happening in the world, right? So yeah, just feeling a lot of that. And being a mercy and a feeler, I tend to feel things and sense things before I really understand them. So it could be that I'm feeling a lot of, the stuff that's happening. One, and then two, I was actually kind of, as I was kind of walking around with the Lord, I actually started to sense some stuff about kind of what's happening uh, around the world, or around the nation in the moment. And it's a thing of kind of, let's see, mob mentality, if you will. So if you've not never really experienced that for yourself, um, you don't know, but it's pretty scary. I mean, things could get out of hand just in a heartbeat. Things escalate, just in a moment. Things happen, in a flash. It's just out of control, very dangerous. So why do I share that, and why do I share it that way? Is so I experienced a bit of this, and I'm not saying, exactly, like what's happening, but it's pretty similar for me. So when Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, um, so I was in junior high, and I live in a predominantly black neighborhood. Was at a predominantly black junior high school, and so they made an announcement. I didn't even know who Martin Luther King Jr. was, to be honest with you. And then the bell rang, and they kind of excused people to go home. And then somehow I get trapped in a stairwell, and just a bunch of people are surrounding me, and they're accusing me of killing Martin Luther King Jr. They're like, he did it, he did it. And then and I'm trapped in this corner again in a stairwell. I don't know how many people, 20, 50, but it was definitely like, there's no way out for me. This is not looking good for me. And why are they accusing me? I didn't do anything. And this happened again, just happened in an instant, and then I can't even think, right? I mean, I don't even know. I can't even say anything. And then next thing you know, this guy just grabs me, pulls me out of the corner, and kind of just uh, forcibly escorts me out down the stairs, that kind of to the entrance or to the exit, and says, "Dude, you need to get your butt home, quick, fast, and in a hurry." So the person that grabbed me was, I think he was in my homeroom. So I don't even know his real name, but we called him Termite. So he's a black guy, right? And I didn't really even know him, but we knew each other, and I think he kind of recognized what was happening. He saw, hey, this does not look good for that guy. So he literally just grabs me out of that, and only really somebody like him could have done this. Grabbed me, forcibly, just kind of forced me down the stairs, and then just instilled in me kind of this fear. It's like, dude, you need to hustle on home, and don't even look back. And I look back at that and I'm going, I could have received some pretty serious harm, and but I was saved, so I just thank God for Termite. So that left a pretty significant impact on my life, right? So just how quickly things can escalate, how mob mentality, really there's no making any sense of it, right? And things get out of hand, and right. So I can see how things like this happen, and it takes like instigators or somebody to say something, and then so it's like a right. So you just it's like a flash, right? I mean, it's just you just say the right thing, or you just start moving in a direction, and then things just escalate. Things just get out of control really fast. Um, yeah, I, so there's fear, right? I mean, so I was fearful, right, in the moment, and it's just this sense of not being in control, but also just kind of recognizing there's just this great spiritual warfare going on in the moment. And then, right, so then I'm also looking at, well, why is this happening now? Right, and why, and then it's like, is this a coincidence that this is happening now? Today's Pentecost Sunday, the events that unfolded this last week, on Monday, and then later on in the week, with the civil unrest and stuff. Um, Again, coincidence, probably not, right? It's probably the enemies, not happy with what's going on, or maybe where we're headed, and is just throwing, everything, trying to distract, trying to discourage, trying to throw disillusionment and fear into the atmosphere. So again, I don't fully know, but it's just just interesting that this is happening right now. Uh, Another part of this is this again just interesting, and I'm just pondering stuff. Is that was it Friday? Yeah, so just a couple days ago, right? So then they started to kind of open things up. So we've been in lockdown for the last few months, and then now things are starting to open up. And then just as things start to open up, civil unrest, rioting, looting, fires, just interesting, So, and then now the National Guard has been called out, curfew, right? So now we're thrown back into kind of, okay, and nobody's saying it yet, but it's kind of like, okay, now we're kind of back in lockdown mode again, at least, from, I think it's like 8 at night until like 5:30 in the morning or something. But still, it's, and then maybe this could escalate to, shelter in place again. So anyway, so that was my thoughts for the morning. I don't know, there's kind of what I was feeling in the moment. And then I kind of wanted to cruise the internet, see what's happening, and I wasn't really finding anything interesting. So I thought, okay, nobody's live right now. I mean, people are, but nothing that I find of any interest, at least in the moment. Um, Looked up Hillsong, East Coast, and I think they have. I think T.D. Jakes is going to be like a guest speaker, so I kind of started to watch that. Might continue that, but just really looking at, you know, I kind of want to fill my spirit with stuff, and I thought there would be a lot of stuff going on, but not really finding anything in the moment. So I'm going to continue my search and continue to press in, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So I just recall. So as I was walking around with the Lord, I was like, okay, so what's going on, Lord? So I'm asking for His perspective, and so He's like, well, uh, in essence, he was kind of revealing to me, hey, what you're doing now every day, this is your new norm. So right, so he's called, okay, take the trash out every day, purge every day, seek me every day, press into me every day, dwell, abide, connect, every day, all day long, kind of thing. So it's like this is for me my new norm. So it's like, so this is what I'm calling you to. This is your, this is your destiny. This is how I want you to walk out, all the days of your life. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he's kind of giving me a glimpse to, okay, this is what your life looks like. This is what your destiny looks like. And so really he's telling me, as I think about it, he's like, don't look at stuff around you, right? Don't look at what's going on in the world. Don't look at, just keep your focus. And so really the theme I think that he was trying to get me to hone in on was, and maybe again this whole season too, in this theme of connecting, abiding, and dwelling with him, is really uh, seek ye first the kingdom of God, right? And this is how he has me walking that out. This is what seek ye first the kingdom of God looks like for me. At least that's in this season of time for me. That's what he's calling me to. So don't look around. Don't look at circumstances. Don't listen to how you feel. Not discount it, but just seek me first. So having said that, so I feel a lot better and even feeling a little bit convicted about maybe I should have pressed into that sooner rather than talking about the whole civil unrest thing. But anyway, it's there. And then yeah, so then that my lifestyle is to press into Him, seek Him first, dwell with Him first. Process everything first through Him, see through His eyes. Feel through His heart. Just continue to walk with Him. Just continue to seek. It's like, hey, what do you have for me today? What do you want me to do today? Where do you want me to go? Just the whole of my day. And then respond to whatever he's calling me to in the moment of the day, and it's always good, right? So I can be, so the testimony of the last few days for me has been, really, really awesome. Um, so even though I was feeling all those things, right, the not good things earlier, I was asking Lord, okay, Lord, what do you have for me this morning? And so He says, okay, look for, go to your arsenal, go to your bookshelf, right, and look for um, kind of, I forget even what the words were, but he impressed something on me, and then so I kind of was perusing the titles, and then I happened upon this. I think it's called Seeing Through the Eyes of Heaven or something like that. So picked that up, started reading it, and it was like, oh, this is really good, right? Another one of those, right? It's like, okay, the Lord picked this out for me this morning, and again, just acknowledging who I am and how He created me to be. All right, so after all of that, I'm feeling a sense, not quite conviction, but just having a deep sense that I just need to spend some time with the Lord, deeper time, just dwelling with, connecting with, abiding with, um, yeah, just sitting with Him for a while, you know. forget about what's happening out there. Don't cruise the internet for anything, regardless if it's spiritual or edifying or whatever, but just go to the source, right? Go to him directly, spend time with him, directly. And yeah, so I'm feeling really good about that, so I'm going to kind of divert and spend some time doing that. And then he's continuing to highlight for me, that he, in this season, he's calling me to be a son. He's calling me to be his son. So I want to sit with him with that. Whew, okay. So just got back from a long walk with the Lord. Before that, since the Lord was also asking me to continue the purging process, so there's a lot of purging that went on this morning. Lot. So I almost have that sense that the Lord's like, okay, you've purged enough for a week, so take a break on that for a while. But anyway, so there was, I don't know, it was just easier. I mean, just a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, and then I kind of got this word of caution from the Lord, and just saying, just don't believe everything that you see and hear. So use your discernment, and yeah, just don't be deceived. So don't be deceived, don't be manipulated. Just again, be careful of what you kind of take in, visually, what you see, what you hear. Just be discernful. Um, yeah, just because you hear and see something doesn't mean it's true. Just because you see and hear something, where did that come from? Is it artificial? Is it manipulation? Is it, you know, yeah. So yeah, because you just don't know, right? I mean, it's what is really going on, right? Are you being led astray? You know, how much of this is true, and where is this headed? So that's this is not necessarily new for me, but it's just I think just heightened awareness maybe. Things are going to get darker, things are going to get more gray, if you will, or things are going to be more not clear. Um, yeah, so so it's good. So just again for me, he's just asking, be cautious. Um, don't believe just because somebody's saying something that is true. So I'm just asking. So I was asking the Lord. So what's your assignment for me this morning? And it seemed like the gist of it was one, to continue what I'm doing, and then two, so stay connected, dwell, abide, rest in Him, but also to seek Him. And this is different. So seek Him by watching Him, and seek Him by hearing Him. So we'll see. So I'm not sure what all that means or what all that looks like, but my sense is that so it's like, well, listen to me, one, and then two, watch me. And the sense was, it was like not necessarily in the spirit, but just using technology, if you will, or using things available to me in the moment, So two things came up, and I need to kind of find out, if I can find them. One is listening to Him, so maybe like listening, so like listening to the Word, right? So there's a lot of listening listening to the Word being spoken out loud, So need to find that. Or watching Him is kind of like, okay, maybe So He even said, watch a movie. So it's like, well, what movie? Maybe maybe there's something to be seen about His. Uh, so very interesting. So as I opened, so I was cruising the internet. I know. But the first thing I roll up on is Rick Joyner. So I think it's Morning Star Ministries, right, and whatever church he's affiliated with. So that's live now. And then there's other people. So then there's another guy that I met from the Midwest. So his church is also going live. So it's about, I think it's 7 o'clock now. So maybe people are awake now. Church services are going on. live. So I think I'm gonna check out Rick Joyner for a little bit, see what's going on there. So there's worship going on now, and yeah. So I guess the Saints are up in the U.S. or some of them at least, and so I want to join in with them, see what's happening. Yeah, so very interesting. Yeah, so, and so Rick Joyner actually had a prophetic word years ago. This is during kind of I don't know, one of the previous flus, and he was talking, I don't know, 10 years ago or something about the coming pandemic, or how this could be a pandemic, and kind of just in some ways talking about. So I think what he was seeing in the moment, like 10 years ago, he was seeing things as they were playing out, like in the last few months. So as he was talking, it was like, so he thought what he was seeing again like 10 years ago, but really what he was saying was the things that have played out over the last few months. So pandemic, worldwide, just global shutdowns, things. So very interesting.